Kempire is brought to you by. We are so excited to announce that the Kempire After Dark, a live tour, is coming back. We are first returning to Los Angeles on November 20th at the Bourbon Room. And then we will be in London. Yes, the first international date of the Kempire After Dark live experience is coming to London, of course, because this is where it all began at our first meet and greet. On December 8th, we will be at Neon 194. This live show is presented by our friends over at AEG. So if you haven't gotten your tickets already, what are you waiting for? December is right around the corner. Every Kempire After Dark live experience is so different than the other. So make a trip, or if you live in London, come to the Kempire After Dark live experience. And just announce, Washington, D.C., we're coming back. We're coming back. Yes, we're coming back to Union Stage, Washington, D.C. Come out. Get your tickets are now available. Let's sell out all 3 shows for 2024 and the early part of 2025. We'll be in D.C. on January 24th. More information on all tour dates will be available in the description. I'll see you guys soon. You're listening to Kempire here on the Kempire Radio Network. Here we go now. Here we go now. Guys, let me know where you are watching from. This is our weekly recap of the Real Housewives of New York City and Salt Lake City. But I know why you're here. You're really here for Salt Lake City. But I just feel obligated at this point to talk about Real Housewives of New York City. Oh my gosh. I know. Come on. What the hell was that this week? Okay, before we even get into that, because I have whoa, look, my woo hat, okay? All right, Wagwan, Murdoch. Oh my God. Okay, before we even get into that, I'm coming to Los Angeles. I've had a day. I see some of you said that you've had a day too, so you're looking for a break and some entertainment. Let's have a good time, okay? Let's have a good time today. Oh my goodness. I'm preparing for my show next week. I will be in Los Angeles. If you haven't gotten your tickets already, why haven't you? Okay. Go get your tickets. Meet and greets are still available. We'll be at the Bourbon Room, Hollywood. Okay, I learned that yesterday. Hollywood. The Bourbon Room, Hollywood, next week, November 20th. Go get your tickets if you haven't gotten your tickets already. Then we're coming to London. We'll be in London on December 8th. All right, December 8th. And then we're coming back to Washington, D.C. on January 24th. More information on those tickets will be available in the description. I do want to say shout out to our friends over at Uncommon Goods because they are sponsoring today's live recap of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City and New York City. And they say spark something uncommon this holiday with just the right gift from Uncommon Goods. The busy holiday season is here, and Uncommon Goods makes it less stressful with incredible hand-picked gifts for everyone on your list, all in one spot. Gifts that spark joy, wonder, delight, and that it's exactly what I wanted feeling. They scoured the globe for original, handmade, absolutely remarkable things. Somehow they know exactly the perfect gift for every single person you know. Here's one of the gifts that I got for myself. And it's actually, you can put it on it comes with a stand. All right, let me put it on the stand. And let me put the light on. Let me put it all the way up. Okay, so it comes on a stand. I know right now it's hard to see on camera, but I love it. It's a nice little knick-knack, all kinds of really cool knick-knack, unique gifts that your gifts won't be the same gift someone else got for someone else. But I know you want a discount, right? So to get 15% off of your next gift, go to uncommongoods.com/Kempire. That's uncommongoods.com/Kempire for 15% off. Don't miss out on the limited time offer. Uncommon Goods, we're all out of the ordinary. Shout out to Uncommon Goods for sponsoring today's live recap. We appreciate you all for checking them out. And I'm sure you probably found some really cute, unique gift ideas just from Uncommon Goods. Again, more information on that and our Kempire After Dark live city show dates that are coming up next week, LA, London next month. And then the month after that will be in DC. All right. Let me say thank you because we already have a couple of super chats. Zoe says, before you start, I just want to say I'm sorry that you have to talk about New York City. Thank you, Zoe. That was very sweet. This episode just ruined the integrity of a show. It's a hard watch. Well, Zoe, you're not lying. You're not lying. I think you just summed it up. But I'm going to talk about it because it's worth talking about. I'm not going to spend as much time as I normally do on New York City, but we have to talk about it because it's become ridiculous at this point. Rahina, thank you so much for the super chat. Rahina says, Kempire, the minute my husband heard you, he said, I want to hear some Diddy juice. Well, can you tell your husband that there's always a Diddy update, okay? One of the Diddy updates I will let you know, remember there was a Jane Doe case where the court said that she had to reveal her name, so she's now revealed her name. That's the update. It's not someone that we all know that I can recall from the name, but that is a Diddy update. Diddy's still at the Brooklyn Metropolitan Detention Center. He's still trying to get out, but he's still locked up and they won't let him out. Okay? As Akon said. So that's your Diddy update. Diddy's facing tons and tons and tons of civil lawsuits and, of course, this big federal case. And the reason they want him out, his legal team, is so that they can prepare him for his court date on May 5th of 2025. I wish him luck. I actually don't. I hate, that's just something you say. I don't really wish him luck. I wish him the worst. Okay, look, I can say that I am not a juror. I am not, that I know of. Oh, God. Imagine, no, they would tell me I can't do it. You can't be a juror. I talk about him, Your Honor. I can be on the, I think he's guilty. Sorry. Sorry. Okay, I've taken a major sidebar because I don't want to talk about Real Housewives of New York City, but I'm going to. And I even took notes. What the hell is wrong with me? What the hell is wrong with me? All right. Let me start with Real Housewives of New York so we can get this over with, okay? All right? Rahina says, don't wish him luck. I just said it, just out of habit. I really don't. I wish him the worst. Okay. So at the top of this episode of Real Housewives of New York City, Erin has a conversation with Rebecca because Rebecca Minkoff is a Jewish woman, but she also is a Scientologist. And we found out a little bit more about this because Erin wanted to know, so how are you Jewish and a Scientologist? And basically she confirmed that Scientology is not a religion because that they get all the benefits of being a religion. But she says, well, her parents apparently are Scientologists too. But that's not the reason why she got into Scientology. She said when she became of age, that's when she decided. Notice how Scientology they ain't got no broke Scientologists. I'm just saying. They know what they're doing by having certain people with money be a part of their religion of empty buildings. Anyways. So Erin decides to ask her about that, and she explains it, and she encourages all of us to go look and read for ourselves. I encourage you not to do that. Don't do it. Don't go to a meeting. Don't call them. No, don't do it. We've seen enough. Erin even said in her confessional, she's like, I know a little too much about Scientology, so I'm not going to say anything. Me too, Erin. And I don't blame you. I don't blame you. We good. We're good. Shout out to Leah Remini. Leah Remini grew up in Scientology and now she's slamming them for them not being a religion. Where's Shelley Miscavige? That's what I would have... Erin, that's what you should have asked. What's her name? Scientologist. That's what I would have asked Rebecca. Where's Shelley Miscavige? That's what I would have asked her. I was like, okay, and then she would have, maybe she did. No, I doubt it. Erin doesn't have the balls. Sidebar, congratulations to Erin Leachy. She is now announced that she's pregnant. Oh, okay. Congratulations. Fine. Okay. Speaking of other things I even care about, Uber. I'm sorry, Uber. Girl, we've been trying to ride for you, Uber. It's just so hard. It's so hard, Uber. This nothing scene that we had. You're shopping for your boyfriend, Oliver, for your beautiful home in Connecticut. Wonderful. I mean, the only thing that interested me was because, I have a new place as well. I was like, oh, where is this in the city? Let me go stop by. I mean, I hope your health is okay. She talked about that. But other than that, next. Sorry, but not sorry. I will give this to Rebecca Minkoff. And I said, Brynn has a lot of nerve to talk about Rebecca because we still don't know what you do for a living. Okay? Well, apparently Rebecca has this sort of collaboration. Wicked, the movie, is coming out. And she is... Kalal says, sing the song, Kev. No, I'm resting my voice. I'm not going to say hello to... No, so I'm focus. It's late in the evening. If this was earlier in the day, I probably would have sang the song. Okay? Anyways, so Sai and her daughter London, her daughter's adorable. Her daughter is adorable. They go to Rebecca's office because Rebecca has this Wicked-inspired collection that she's coming out with. Honestly, it was perfect timing because you see now all of the promotion for Wicked, all the premieres around the world that they're having. It doesn't even come out till the 22nd. So there's a little bit of a crossover in this. And I know some people are like, oh, here we go with the whole, promotion of your brand. I mean, at the end of the day, the reason why Rebecca's on the show is because of who she is. It's not because they thought she was an interesting person, because she really isn't. Sorry, Rebecca, but you know that already. Sai said it before. On the hot mic situation with Jeff Lewis. Did you guys see Jeff Lewis on Watch What Happens Live? I ended up watching the episode. Jeff Lewis says, he wasn't sure about RHONY before, but now he's loving it. How much did Andy pay you? Because I know they just announced that he has a new show coming to Bravo, right? It's coming to Bravo. And of course, he's signed to Andy's Sirius XM radio network. So I was like, how much did he pay you? And I know what you're thinking. Well, he always says other things that Andy doesn't like. But I was just like, but he also knows that Andy knows that RHONY is desperate at this point. You notice how Andy's always asking, so what do you think about RHONY? Are you loving the new season of RHONY? See, this is why I could never do Watch What Happens Live. Because I'd be like this, it's trash. Okay. But anyway, so how do I go all the way there? Okay, back to Sai and her daughter London. Her daughter London was having the time of her life looking at these Wicked-inspired things. And for me, watching the scene was just like, Rebecca, you are that girl. For Rebecca to have this sort of collaboration with this major movie, Rebecca is cashing in. But she already shared that when she was having the conversation with Erin, because Erin, you need to learn how to produce because you can't make it so damn obvious. You're making it very obvious that you're producing, because in that first scene with Erin and Rebecca, okay, she brings up what Brynn said. Again, producing. Because normally, if someone says something mean about your friend, unless there's nothing else going on and a producer tells you should bring it up, why would you tell Rebecca the ridiculous thing that Brynn said about her? Because at the end of the day, and Rebecca said it in that moment, she's like, what do I have to be ashamed of? I built a business from nothing to worth over $100 million. I said, stunt on them. She stunted on them in that first scene, and then she stunted again in the Sai and London scene. Cute scene. That was it, though. We didn't get much else from that scene. Well, speaking of Brynn, Jessel, and Erin go for lunch, all right? Brynn talks about the new venture that she's working in. She's worked in the tech world before. She has a team in New York City. She has a team in London. She's like, Jessel says, you're more of a London girl than I. You're always there. She was like, yeah, and you have it in your bio because she's from London, fool. I'm sorry. Because she's from London, and we don't know what you're even doing. I don't believe that. Okay, she's working on an app. Okay. All right, Brynn, the edit for you this season, I think you thought it was going to go one way, but it's going the other. Like, you are insufferable this season. And I do believe that you and Erin concocted this whole prank idea, because you've been trying to produce since episode 1. We're on what episode are we on? 6? Girl. So Brynn is working in the tech world. She has a team in London. She has a team in New York, whatever. And of course, Erin doesn't want to talk about, her jobs because, the last time when she was on Jeff Lewis, Brynn really was upset about it. All right. Well, Brynn is caught in another lie. So she brings up to Jessel, so I spoke to Jenna about you being a basic bitch. And she agreed. Look, she agreed. And I thank God the producers, hey, Eric Fuller. Yeah, same Eric Fuller from RHOA and RHOP. She brings up the fact that Jenna, I'm so glad that production showed what Jenna actually said. And Jenna did not call Jessel a basic bitch. But very clear, Brynn says in her confession, she's like, I'm just stirring the pot. We don't need you to stir the pot. You're not a producer. What is your storyline? What is going on with you? I do see the preview for next week's episode. God help us. She's got her ex-fiance there talking about, like, I want to have a baby with you. I want to have a baby with you. We don't care. We don't even want to see you next season. We don't want to see half this cast next season, especially you, though. We do not want to see you. Why am I yelling? I feel like I'm yelling. Sorry, let me bring it down. Let me bring it down. Okay. And Dub says, is that the missing wife, Shelley Miscavige? Yes. That's from Scientology? Yes. So, Erin decides to share another story, okay? She says that Rebecca's pregnant again. My thing is, when she's even setting up this prank, I don't know about you guys that didn't know that it was a prank. In the moment, didn't you tell that Erin was like lying? Like, she wasn't convincing to me. So she's like, she doesn't even have a clear, concise way of telling the story, basically alluding that Rebecca and her husband, they're loose, they're open. They went, I guess they're switching partners, and apparently she got pregnant off of sleeping with someone else. Okay. But I thought it was interesting. I don't know if you paid attention to this in the scene. Brynn was like, so who's the dad? So that for me was like, oh. Because why would you ask who's the dad? Based off of how Erin set up the story. And I was like, you both are in on this. You both were talking about this separately, and you're both in on it, on the story. And I believe, I don't believe, we saw at the end of this episode that Rebecca, I could barely think of her name, Rebecca was in on it too. You guys are ridiculous. And Andy Cohen, you're just as ridiculous. Andy says at the top of Watch What Happens Live, he says, yeah, I don't like a prank. Breathe. 1, 2, 3. Relax, relate, release. Okay. Andy Cohen, let me just tell y'all production, okay? Andy Cohen knew about this prank before we did. No, not just before the season started. Andy Cohen gets notes daily from production in regards to what's going on these shows. Okay, maybe not daily. At least he knew way in advance the direction that the Real Housewives was going. And he's very invested in the success of RHONY. Okay? He's very invested in the success of RHONY. So you sitting there on Watch What Happens Live acting like your hands are washed of it. I hate a prank. You knew that this was going in this direction. You decided to sign off on them sharing this season. So you saying you hate a prank, are you just hating a prank now because you see that the audience is like, this is ridiculous. This is dumb. So save me on that. We hate a prank. You decided to produce and share this prank. You decided that this was more important than sharing any other story. But okay. Anyways, so Erin says that Rebecca had a crazy night, and apparently the pregnancy is early on. Mind you, we found out last week that Rebecca is still breastfeeding her other kid, who's like 15 months. Anyways. All right. Erin and Raquel hang out with their partners. Okay. I like it. Mel, Raquel's partner, is getting along really well with Abe. She never thought that she would. And Abe probably didn't think that she... I don't care about any of the what they talked about in this. Okay. What stood out to me, shout out to Abe. I know we read him for filth last week, but shout out to Abe. Because there's not a lot of men, heterosexual men, bisexual men, that would admit on this show that he was tempted to kiss a guy. Oh. And that he had questioned his sexuality at one point. I was like, did he admit that? Look, this is a safe space. I thought that was really brave of him. Because in this world, a lot of people will be like, oh, and you already know there are probably some people already saying, oh, he's gay. But no, I appreciate that fact that he said early in his life, he felt tempted, and that, he contemplated. Steve said, only tempted? I mean, look, if you're going to share that much, I think if he ever kissed a boy and liked it, he would have said so, right? Maybe? Anyways, I'm going to give him kudos for sharing. Okay? He has a very healthy sex life with Erin. They talked a lot about it last season. So, look, good for him. I appreciate the fact that he shared that. I wonder if they're going to talk more about it for the rest of the season in some shape or form. Andy's going to ask about it. Okay. Sarah says, hello, can't wait to see you on the crappy show. What crappy show? Which one? Okay. Anyway, so the other thing that stood out to me, Raquel says that at the end of her marriage, she was sort of like, it wasn't in a good space. And then she's like, I started watching the L Word. I said, not another woman turned out by the L Word. I used to love the L Word. The L Word was fantastic. It was on Showtime, right? It was such a great show. But I'm not surprised that the L Word was her gateway into lesbianism. Anyways, moving on. I don't care. I just want to talk about the stuff I care about. Jessica goes shopping with her mom. She's lucky I love her mom. I love Jessica's mom. So they're talking about spending Pavitt's money, talking about having a baby. She says that she's getting a therapist from Mexico City, and it's basically the palate of the Mexican, the guy should match the palate of. Who cares about Pavitt and this therapy? I don't believe it's real. I don't believe it's a real storyline. I don't care. Moving on. But she does tell her mother about the Rebecca rumor. So I really believe that Jessel had no part in this prank, because I don't think she would have told that to her mom. Because her mother was like, what? Her reaction was actually pretty funny. What? Anyways, the girls go play dodgeball, and this is where they decide to discuss this rumor some more. So they start spreading the rumor some more. They tell Sai. Sai tells Uba. I forgot who. I think Sai told, not Rebecca, told Jenna. Jenna, I feel like, also did not know about this prank, and genuinely, because she has a history with Rebecca, wanted to let her know what was going on. So Rebecca was playing into this. So Rebecca was a part of this as well. Because even when they were playing dodgeball, she was trying to pretend like she was sick. Like, I'm not feeling well. So she was in on it. But isn't she the same one that wanted to pretend to have a fight with Jenna? And Jenna was like, no. So I guess this is what she decided to do. You guys are lost, confused. And I'm not just talking about the cast. I'm talking about production and the network. Because you all are complicit. You're all complicit. You all knew that this was going to play out. And now you see that people that already hated this reboot hate it even more. They're like, what? Now we have a prank? Now you guys are playing, like, now you guys are self-producing? We already have Brynn lying and causing trouble. Now we have you guys coming up with this prank that's not even believable. I would have believed it more if you said it was Brynn. Now you got Rebecca, who barely has anything going on besides, just being Rebecca. You would have done better if you had said this was Brynn. Honestly, I would have believed it more. But none of you are good actresses. None of you are good producers. Leave the producing to the producers. But apparently, the producers aren't doing what they're supposed to do either. I don't know. I'm really trying to ride out, because I've rode with RHONY for so long. But at this particular point, it's becoming a waste of breath. All right, I'm going to move on, because I already spent 24 minutes on it. And mind you, I didn't even spend 24 minutes because we had some conversation at the beginning. Let me take a sip from my coldest water bottle. Guys, don't forget to like the video. It's easy and it's free. Plus, I want the energy that I have to be for Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Okay? Kalam says that they're big H's. Gigi said, did Todd set this up? As in Todd Tucker? No. OMG. What a mess. Thank you guys so much for the super chat. Rahina, thank you so much for the super chat. Rahina says, that plan did not land. We don't care. Thank you, Rahina. Did your husband like the update on Diddy? Just asking. Hey, Tina. Tina says, Jeff used to do pranks on Jenny from flipping out. Oh, see? And he's like, we don't like a prank. Well, maybe it's different. Maybe that's a little different. Like, he didn't have to produce everything. Like, his show wasn't a flop from the beginning. You know what I mean? So maybe that's why he felt like he could do pranks like that. Honestly, I don't mind a prank on a show, but the show has to be already good. There has to be other stuff going on. They had nothing going on. I'm so done. Look, so done. Mary says, we need 60 plus years out of touch women. We had that. Y'all weren't watching then. Don't forget the ratings for RHONY were slipping back then, too. Anyways, let's move on. Let's move on, guys. Don't forget, I will be coming to Los Angeles next week. Got a lot of things planned, including the Kempire After Dark live experience coming to the Bourbon Room. Yes, we're going to be at the Bourbon Room this time next week. Yeah, this time next week. So make sure you get your tickets. Ticket information is available in the description. But if you're in London or near London, if you're in France, Grace Report from France is coming to the show. She's going to be our MC for the night. And you just never know what might be happening while I'm in London. So make sure you get your tickets for our London show. More information is available in the description, along with our DC show that we will be kicking off at the top of the year. And I hope to be able to announce some more interesting things later. Okay? Later this week or next week. I don't remember. Anyways. All right. So by the end of the Real Housewives of New York City's episode, that's when we discover it was a prank. They put a to be continued. No, we don't care. None of us care. None of us care. Uba's reaction when Sai told her, she was like, ugh. But look, Uba was correct. She said, hold on, wrong picture. Hold on, where's Uba's picture? Here we go. Uba said there are a bunch of pigeons. And honestly, that prank was pigeon behavior. That was definitely, she was right. They're pigeons and pigeon behavior. Just saying. Tiff says, can we mix the new and the old and we got a show? No. Honestly, I don't want to see any of these people back because I feel like all of them are so pre-produced. I feel like all of them on some level is pre-produced. I don't want to see any of these women back. And I'm not talking to the old cast. Although, looking at Luann the other day on Watch What Happens Live, I don't want her back either. She's so delusional. I don't want to spend an entire season of her talking about going on tour. Oh my God. I'm in cabaret. I'm a singer now. And it was just like, oh my God, you really took your dream and you made it. Well, good luck to all of you that are going to see Luann sing cabaret. Okay. All right. Let's talk about the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Come on. Like up the video if you haven't already, guys. We have almost 900 of you on YouTube alone. Shout out to those of you who are watching on Twitch, TikTok, and on Twitter. Okay. Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. How would you rate this week's episode? First of all, how would you rate RHONY's episode this week? I can rate it for you. 0. They don't deserve a rating this week. They deserve a 0. Sorry. Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, though. How would you rate it this week? I thought it was great. I thought it was a great episode. I'm going to be twerking on the fence a lot. Okay? I'm going to be twerking on the fence a lot because I'm going to be defending Todd, but then I'm like, I'm scared of Todd. Todd father. Okay? Sidebar, I did a video yesterday talking about Real Housewives of Beverly Hills alum. That's what they want to say. Fired Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star Teddy Mellencamp, Teddy the Nat Mellencamp, spoke on her podcast. I'll save you the time. She didn't say anything on the podcast in response to the rumors that she may have cheated with a married man that had a pregnant wife, and when the wife was giving birth, the man was with Teddy. I did a video yesterday breaking down to you what's been going on there. So she did her podcast episode and she responded to the rumors, and she was just like, I'm not going to say anything. I mean, there are a lot of people involved. Oh, there are a lot of people involved. Because if it wasn't true, wouldn't you say, leave those people alone? That didn't happen. I never slept with someone. So apparently it might be true. Okay. Tamara, do me a favor. Let people speak. Why was Tamara chiming in the entire time when she was trying to get this out? It was annoying. I'm annoyed that I had to even hear it. So basically, Teddy said nothing in confirming or not confirming whether or not she's a cheater, pumpkin eater. Okay? Again, it's not interesting enough for us to want you back on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Please no. We don't care. I tell you that right now. You're lucky yesterday was a slow news day. Why am I talking about it now? Just to give you an update. I'm not going to do a separate video. Why? Look, why? Anyways, K. Avery says, Kempire, did you see the clip of Kenya talking at Tamron Hall? I might do a separate video. I did do a TikTok, for those that are watching on TikTok. I did do a TikTok talking about, mind you, I'm not going to do a separate video. Yes, Kenya Moore did come out on Tamron Hall and basically say and apologize for what she did. That she alleged that she didn't do at her Kenya Moore hair care spa during the season, which subsequently either got her suspended or fired. She says neither. But she gets emotional and says she only did it because, as a mother now. Okay, Kenya. Maybe I'll talk about that separately. I just have a lot of things to say and I don't have the time here. Okay? But I did do a TikTok posting and covering that story. So if you missed it, you can watch it on TikTok or you can watch it on Instagram. All right? All right. As you know, last week's episode of The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City ended with the Todd father telling John, Lisa Barlow's husband, that either you guys fix this or you can go home. And John scurried away and told Lisa, John's like, we better fix this or he wants us to go. Let me tell you something. I don't know if you paid attention to this. Lisa has been over the top this entire season, just like screaming, yelling, fighting back, anything. But on this trip, she felt stuck. She felt stuck. She was in this $20,000 a night villa in Palm Springs. She's filming a show, so she doesn't want to miss out filming because you saw in this episode, we did not see Heather Gay. That's the worst thing for a housewife. Even if they are paid for the episode, they still want to be on the episode. They don't want to feel like they're, replaceable. No Heather Gay this episode. Okay, they did talk a little bit about her, but no Heather Gay. But Lisa's whole attitude changed. I thought that Lisa would be like, what? You're going to kick us out? No. Lisa was just like, oh my God. Oh, I love Bronwyn. I want us to work things out. Like, this is, it was like all of a sudden we saw a puppy dog come out of Lisa Barlow. Just like, I love Bronwyn. No, you don't. She felt stuck. She did not want to leave the Palm Springs trip. She did not want to leave all expense paid trip. She did not want to lose camera time. Okay? Notice that in the entire rest of the trip, Lisa Barlow was on her best behavior when it comes to Bronwyn. Okay? So right after that, they go to the group lunch. So we think, and even Bronwyn thinks that she's going to get an apology from Lisa, only for the fight to turn into a fight between Lisa and Whitney. Whitney, I am so over it. Look, even Bronwyn says in her confessional, sidebar, Bronwyn, narrating this episode, the tone of her voice, the way she delivers things, is actually perfect for Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. So even if she doesn't come back, can we just have her narrate the season? Her voice is perfect. It's kooky, but it has a nice tone to it. You know what I mean? I was just like, oh, when I would turn away from and I'm hearing her voice, I'm like, oh, okay. All right. What else did I want to mention in regards to that? So Brahman is expecting her apology, but the apology never comes because Lisa ends up arguing with Whitney and Justin and what went down at Angie's party. And of course, they all want apologies, but Lisa's not trying to apologize. Then Lisa is confronted by Sean, Angie's husband, because he's just like, I don't like the way that you speak about my wife. And she's like, I can see him over the table. Y'all want to talk so much. You know what? What I will give Sean that John doesn't have, a backbone. He's here defending his wife, not just physically, but he's confronting you and saying, I don't like that. And I don't like the fact that she accepts that type of behavior from you. So you could talk about his height. I much rather him than John. And I'm not just talking about looks-wise. Sean has a better personality. John just seems like he's just following you like an android. Just saying. But it was funny because John was trying to mitigate the conversation. He's like, you're okay. Bronwyn in her confessional jokes, she's like, and now all the women needed was John to come in and fix the little women's problems. And then the edit, they show it flash all the way to the end where the ladies are all in the pool getting along. The editors over at Salt Lake City, although y'all are getting a little heavy-handed with the editing and the comedy, I do appreciate your editing over there. But calm down. Look, calm down, okay? Lisa then says, though, to Angie when confronted by Sean, because, Lisa's a confessional gangster, she says, if I hurt you, I'm sorry. Here's the thing. That is such a Housewives apology. If I hurt you, I'm sorry. Is that a real apology? Would you accept that apology for yourself? Would you accept that apology? In this day and age, I don't think I would accept that apology for myself because I've seen so many housewives say that and it's never genuine. So I don't think I would accept that apology for myself. If I hurt you, I'm sorry. Okay. Look, all right. Fine. Look, fine. Seth, randomly, I guess to break the ice, he's like, anybody else when they eat asparagus that you can smell it in your urine? This is a grown man. This is a man that has an executive position at Big Lots. Grown man. Seth, shut up. Look, just shut up. So we flash to Mary Cosby, and she goes up to her son's room. He has a very nice room. He's in bed with his wife, in quotes, not married, really. And Mary, I really feel for Mary, though, this season. I know Mary has said and done things that is problematic, but I know there are a lot of you that have family members or close ones, or maybe you're one of the people recovering from an addiction. It's not easy, especially for the families, okay? So I feel for Mary. But let me tell you something. Watching Robert Jr. in bed with the porcelain doll that he calls his wife, and they are strung out. Come on. We got to talk about it. They are strung out. They got the munchies. Look, they got the munchies. The edit was interesting, though, because at one particular point, Porcelain Doll was kind of looking cross-eyed at Mary, and I said, you better fix your face. Like, you better fix your face. And then all of a sudden, it's like doughy-eyed. Like, so Mary's concerned about him. She's like, he's never been like this before. He used to be more ambitious. I don't know if I believe that, Mary, but we'll run with it, okay? I don't know if I ever believed that he was ever ambitious. He's not that old either. She says she's concerned about him because he's not doing anything. But Mary is taking the blame on herself. She's taking the blame on herself. And the porcelain doll is just sitting there, and they're just sitting there eating. And she's like, did I come in on an eating session? Like, they're just sitting there eating. And then putting the food in the mouth. And then when he says, she's trying to hold him accountable. He holds on to the porcelain doll's hand and just looking at her. Okay, I've never been high, okay? However, I imagine that if you're in the middle of being high and then your parents or someone comes in and you're trying to act like you're not high, that's the vibe that they were giving. Like, they were trying to pretend like they weren't high, but they were high as a kite. High as a kite. On what? Go read the articles, okay? Go read the articles. Guys, don't forget you can hear an audio version of our podcast like this one on the Kempire podcast. And make sure that you guys subscribe today. And while you're there, don't forget to give us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. And as always, don't forget to say thank you to our King's Guards for being so lovely and welcoming you all into the live chat and reminding you of all the things that are coming up or currently going on here on the channel. Shout out to all of you watching on Twitch, Twitter, and here behind the scenes on TikTok. We appreciate you guys being here as well. We're talking about the Real Housewives of New York City, but also Salt Lake City. Right now, we're on our Salt Lake City bag, okay? Sasha says, I know, as Black people, I can imagine us watching this Black mama go into this room. This Black boy has this girl in his bed eating while the mother is trying to have a serious conversation with him, okay? Couldn't be mine. Look, couldn't be mine. So that was an interesting scene, okay? Mary feels like she can save him. I hope she can. We then segue into them playing volleyball. Fine. The husbands look good. The bodies were bodying. Fine. Let's move on. Bronwyn has her anniversary party, and she puts on the 170 carat necklace that's worth $4 million. Bronwyn is not coming back next season, y'all. So enjoy her while you can. Okay? Enjoy. I can't imagine after this season, literally in the confessional, Todd, the Todd father says he's never going to do this again. And I know what you're thinking. Well, she could still film the show without him. He is going to pay her not to do this. He bought that $4 million necklace and said, we're not doing this anymore after this season. I would be shocked if she decides to come back. If she comes back, she's leaving him. Or they're getting a divorce. I'm not wishing that on them. I'm just saying, if she does come back. And I know what you're thinking, Kempire, what do you mean allow? They had that type of relationship. I think if Todd said to her, I will pay you not to return, I think she would be like, okay. The necklace was gorgeous. I could not take my eyes off of it. When Lisa Barlow came out, because Lisa's so shallow. Lisa has no depth. She's like, oh my God, I love your necklace. I love your necklace. Oh my God, it's good. This is the one you chose. Mind you, she's being on her best behavior. Okay? She's being on her best behavior because she does not want the Todd father to send her home. Okay? But did you guys catch? I caught this today right before watching. Todd shaded the hell out of Vita Tequila. He looks over to one of his friends and he's like, yeah, they have a tequila brand, a mediocre tequila. Did you guys hear that? Well, I'm here to point it out to you because I completely missed it when I watched it with you guys the other night. Yes, last night. I was like, oh shoot, not Todd shading the hell out of their thing. What the hell was Seth wearing? Seth is a weirdo. He's wearing Brooks Marks hat. No one cares. Who's buying Brooks Marks stuff? Oh, Bravo people. Please understand, if you're not on the show anymore, that's not a brand. God. And this is exactly why Sean was right. You use him. You use him as a pawn. You use him anytime that you can. You used him the first season you came on the show. So Todd was right. Anyways. All right. Meredith says that there's mild tension between Bronwyn and Todd. Yes. There's also mild tension between you and Seth. It's not sexual tension, though. Just saying. So Bronwyn, they're celebrating their anniversary. They're like, I love him. Todd is just sitting there with his arms crossed like this. And I know what some of you are thinking, like, he hates her or he's like a miserable person. He's a man of a particular age. Honestly, I'm not triggered. I'm not moved by his personality. I'm just like, it sounds right. He sounds like a crotchety old man. But I still believe that he deeply loves Bronwyn and deeply loves Gwen, her daughter. But he's an old, crotchety man that did not sign up for reality television. He probably did it to please his wife. But he's crotchety and he's old. That would probably be me when I'm his age. Like this. Look, rich, old, and crotchety. Emphasis on rich. Didi says he comes across controlling. He probably is because he's also a boss. He's probably used to getting his way. He's probably used to telling people what to do. I'm not saying that it's right, but if it's okay with Bronwyn, it's okay with me. It's not my type of relationship. All right? I might be the old crotchety rich one, though. I'm kidding. Jola says he's super protective. I want to talk about that because they play the Newlywed game. Who cares? I did find it interesting, though, that Whitney and Justin, when they asked the question of who does your wife not trust or whatever or dislike at the table the most? And I thought it was interesting that Whitney put Meredith and Justin put Lisa. I would have thought Lisa as well. So I thought it was interesting that Whitney put Meredith. I was like, oh, okay. Okay, fine. I didn't really care for the Newlywed game, but I have to say, I really enjoyed Angie this episode. I liked her energy. She seems light, fun. It seems like she's willing to, I didn't love her when she was up Lisa Barlow's you-know-what. I also don't love when she's pre-producing too much, but she's cute. She's cutesy. She's demure. And I like her relationship with Sean. All right? All right. So Meredith decides to bring up her issues with Seth. And what Seth said on Behind the Velvet Rope with David Yontef. Why didn't they say... They never even... I mean, okay. The reason... I'll tell you why I believe. I had to work this in my mind. Why they don't mention the actual name of the podcast and they later will show you, oh, this was from Behind the Velvet Rope. In the moment, though, they're probably not going to say it because they haven't gotten it cleared at that moment. They usually clear this stuff after the season is filmed. As someone that's been a part of, a few different episodes of Real Housewives and other shows... So that's probably why they haven't said, oh, David Yontef on Behind the Velvet Rope, because it hasn't been cleared at that particular point. So that might be the reason why production will tell them, just say the podcast or the blog or the podcaster. Okay. So I had to work that through my mind. I was like, why don't they just say the people's names? But they did cite their source, and it was behind the velvet rope that Sean did the interview, where he alluded. I'm not going to say he alluded. He basically said that what we thought Meredith was doing, because her talking about these rumors of Sean being possibly gay really made her look bad as someone that was so heavily involved in the LGBT community, allegedly. I say allegedly. And I felt like she's always really put Brooks out there from season 1 because Seth wasn't around. So she put him out there as her guy to talk in confessionals and be shady. You notice how they haven't done that since. Because no one liked Brooks. Sorry, Brooks, but not sorry. So Meredith decides to bring this up to him, and he is so confused. And I respect Sean for this, because Sean's just like, well, we had a conversation at Angie's, and if you didn't feel like you were made whole by that conversation, that you felt like I should have apologized, why didn't you say that in that moment? Why did you wait till we're on this trip to bring it up? Because this is what Meredith does. Rewind the tape. Meredith never has had a storyline since season 1, okay? So she does this. She harps on one nonsensical issue to make it her storyline for the season. And that's exactly what she was trying to do with Seth. Even though she walked away from that conversation feeling hurt and upset that he didn't apologize for the son comment, she decided to sit on it. And she sat on it the entire vacation. She was talking about it and other things. And then at the dinner table, she wants to have her moment. And Sean's just like, I'm going to double down on this. I didn't say anything of what you're describing. So the group is like, where's the proof? What did he say? What exactly did he say? She's like, I have the words, the exact words in front of me. I would have to go and look for them. And then Seth was looking, and he pulls out his phone with the article from the blog, and it's just like, here you go, biatch, towards Whitney. And Whitney's just like, mind you, he wanted to say bitch. So, but I guess he felt like I would say biatch. Mind you, that's an article headline. Even Angie K in her confession is like, that's clickbait. Of course they're going to say it that way in a title. Is that what he said in the actual interview, though? They did play the clip from the interview, and he alluded to that. But again, is it not the fact? Is it not the fact? So Sean doubles down on it. He's like, I would apologize if I felt like I said what you said that I said, but I didn't say it. Team Sean on this one. All right, Team Sean on this one. And Seth, you're weird. Go sit down. Go sit down. I'm surprised I'm Justin and give him a good FUCK. I'm just saying. Okay. Oh, classy, because I didn't hear this interview. Classy lady says David Jansen from Behind the Velvet Rope said Brooks, not Sean. So look, again, even if Sean had said Brooks, where was the lie? Where was the lie? It wasn't a lie to me. Anyways, speaking of lying, there's no segue. Guys, don't forget the Kempire After Dark live experience is coming to Los Angeles next week. The days are counting down. Have you gotten your tickets yet? More information on how you can get your tickets for the Kempire After Dark live experience and meet and greets will be available in the description. And then we're coming to London next month. I have a busy next couple of weeks, y'all. Next few weeks. So for those that are in the Kempire Wins Tuesday takeover, we're coming back. Probably not to the new year when I'm like settled. I've been like busy. But yeah, we have a lot going on. London, I'm coming to your city December 8th for the Kempire After Dark live experience. So get your tickets for that. Meet and greets are available for that. Then I'm coming back to DC in January. All right, January 24th, 2025. Inauguration week. Fun. All right. Moving on. And Angie, during the conversation at the dinner table, innocently, Angie really likes Todd. Even though he's old and crotchety, she has a really sweet way of dealing with him. So she brings up the whole Gwen reconnecting with her father's family, and Todd has a visceral reaction. So Bronwyn tries to, settle it and just like, it was my fault for showing the picture to Lisa. And so Todd's like, we're not talking about this. We're not. And look, I'm not going to say anyone is wrong for feeling like uncomfortable with Todd. Clearly, Bronwyn was uncomfortable with the way Todd handled it. She said that she was more concerned that the ladies would embarrass her, and it's actually Todd embarrassing her right now. I just want to preface this by saying this. We have to remember this is a different situation. This is why Todd is great reality television, because you're getting the real person. All right? So Todd, we have to remember, has helped raise Gwen. Gwen is 18 years old? They've been married 10 years. They were probably dating, I don't know how many years before. So he's known her since she was a little girl. I don't know if he has any other children, but even if he did, he probably loves that young lady like his own daughter. So I took his energy as, we're not going to talk about this. This is a dead issue. He's seen how this situation has made Gwen feel, because it's not hunky-dory. The situation is, Gwen is feeling like they're weird. They're being standoffish. They're like, well, do you want to be part of our family? Todd also knows what went down with Bronwyn when she told these people that she was having the baby. They want her to get rid of the baby. All right? And they've known that this baby has existed for a long time. So that's the feeling that I was getting. But I also understand how people would watch the episode and be like, wow, he's shutting her down. Why don't you just let her speak? This is her child. But no, I'm sure he considers this is his child as well. All right, Todd. Old and crotchety. Jack says it's a family situation. Yeah, I mean, I took it a little bit differently, but like I said before, I can understand where some people would be like, I don't like how he talks to her. I don't like how he shuts her down. I get that. Could that be my relationship? No. Could that be your relationship? Probably not. But I do feel like in that moment, he was like, this is a dead issue. Like, there's a lot of stuff to that situation that we don't know about. And I do find it weird that content creators are getting involved heavily in that situation. Y'all got your own business to mind. And I know this is coming from me. It minds a lot of people's business. But sometimes y'all take this stuff too far. Y'all need to stop. Like, some of the stuff that y'all are saying has real world ramifications. Just saying. Look, Alexis says, I understood Todd. Look, Todd. Thank you, Mama. Yes, guys, no caps in the live chat. Nightbot will get you. Okay? Gigi says, old and crotchety on a t-shirt. No, we got to put old, rich, and crotchety on a t-shirt. Come on, you can't forget the rich part. Elle says, my dad is the same about my daughter's Bio's dad's family. Again, I'm not in that position. So yes, we've seen multiple scenes with Todd. This is why I also don't think Todd is ever going to do this again. He even said in confessional, I'm never going to do a trip with these people again. He meant that. He doesn't need the money. He doesn't want the fame. All right? All right. Moving on. So the next day, Lisa and Bronwyn have their own conversation. And I'm just going to sum it up because there was a lot of back and forth. I don't understand why Lisa feels the need to defend Heather and doesn't show the same amount of grace to Bronwyn. But I do know why. Because Heather and Lisa have an alliance. And that alliance is for this show. And despite Bronwyn being someone that Lisa was friends with outside of the show and probably really wanted to be friends with before, she feels like this connection to Heather, not in a real friendship connection, more sort of like we got to protect each other, you know, even when this person's a new because we're OGs. So I feel like that's where that is coming from. So I got where Bronwyn was feeling like, first of all, I don't want to feel like I'm begging you for friendship or that I'm being needy. But on some level, do you think I'm two-faced? Do you think I'm two-faced? And Lisa could not answer. Lisa could not answer. So Lisa does answer in her confessions like, I'd like to tell her, like, she's not going to answer this because she's on this $20,000 a night trip. She's not trying to get kicked out. I think if she told her real feelings, she would have went home, and she doesn't want that to happen. Okay. So they have this sort of like back and forth conversation, and Bronwyn is just like, I need you to have my back on some level. She's not saying that she wants Heather to have her back more than Heather. I mean, she doesn't want Lisa to have her back more than Heather's. She's just like, I need a little bit more balance because it feels like you're always defending and coming up with excuses defending Heather's behavior and Heather calling me a two-faced B word. Okay. Hey, Reign of April. Reign of April says, unpopular opinion. I think another reason Grandpa is annoyed is because this was their anniversary trip and it got overshadowed by the antics of the group largely. Good point. They did show pictures from their other anniversaries and I get it. You know, he wants to spend time with his wife and it's being, again, he doesn't realize he's filming a reality show. He doesn't, which is fine. He won't be doing it again. Rahina, thank you for another super chat. Rahina says, Todd is giving my father-in-law energy. He's old school, I feel. See? Look. I think a lot of people can relate to the Todd father. I mean, I don't have anyone in my life that's like that. Again, I think I would be that person. Once I'm old and crotchety and rich. Once I'm old and crotchety and rich, I probably will be that way. But I'm also a Taurus. So if I love you and I'm like loyal to you, that's how I'm going to be too. You're going to get the horns. Can someone Google Schmoogle Todd's birthday? I need to know what his birthday is. I need to know what his birthday is, please. If anyone can find it. Shout out to everyone watching on TikTok, those of you watching on Twitch and Twitter and Facebook, and of course here on YouTube. Don't forget to like the video. It's easy and it's free. I am going to drop the call-in link for our members first. All right, before I get to the rest of what I wanted to talk about in regards to Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. All right, so members, I'm going to drop the call link for you on the community tab on YouTube. And live chat, because we have over 1,000 people here. Let's get to 400 likes and I'll drop the call link for you guys. All right. All right. Look, please and hold. Please and hold. Okay. Let me do that here. Okay. Bum, 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 bum. All right. I'm going to drop this call link here. Okay. And guys, again, don't forget, you can hear the podcast version of this later on, probably tomorrow, on the Kempire podcast. Make sure you subscribe and don't forget to give us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify because it matters. I'm trying to get to 1,000 reviews on both platforms by the end of this year. I mean, thousands and thousands of you listen and download. So I'm not understanding why you're not rating and reviewing, but please rate and review. Okay. So that's why I keep telling and I keep harping on it. Okay. Hold on. Sashi says, someone needed to debrief Todd, but he is raw, which we appreciate. And based off the mid-season trailer, it's not going to stop. And a lot of people are saying, what is Bronwyn going to say about their relationship? I don't think anything that Bronwyn's going to say about their relationship is going to surprise us. Do you think? I mean, well, we shall see. I mean, every week I'm surprised by some of these episodes. All right. Hey, Thalia. Thalia says, I'm late to the party, but I'm here. Hey, everyone. Hey, Thalia. She said, oops, sorry for the caps. It's okay. It's all right. Nightbot didn't get you, did he? All right. All right. What else happens? What else happens in this episode before we get to the mid-season trailer? All right. So the group starts to get ready to leave. We already had that scene with Seth leaving. He decided to stay a little bit longer. I feel like that is just a scheme that Todd set up for Seth to come with us with some sort of fake storyline. So he ends up staying a little bit longer, but he's still leaving a little bit before Meredith. They have their little moment where he's just like, "Are you mad that I'm leaving?" And she's like, I'm not happy. I'm not happy." Okay. He's a Cancer? Ugh. Look. What's Bronwyn sign? I mean, it does explain a lot, though. That's why we should give him some grace because, Cancers have the hard shell on the outside, but they're really soft and needy and emotional on the inside. So I could definitely see that about him. I got a Cancer rising, so Cancers don't come for me. Future MD says Cancers are also very protective. That makes sense. Damn, so I got a Cancer rising and I'm a Taurus? That's super loyal? I wish y'all luck. Look, I wish y'all luck. Winter says, Seth loves leaving Meredith. We love it when he leaves too. He's weird. I think Meredith also doesn't love it when he films because she never knows what he's going to say. Oh, see? Winter says he's a Cancer? Yeah, that checks out. I'm a Cancer, so I get it. See? Asia says, is this live? I can't see the button to give a super chat. Well, Asia, help someone. Someone help Asia. She's trying to send a super chat. I might even shimmy for it. Even though you can send super chats with pre-records too. But anyways, Beautiful Gem says, my dad is a Cancer. Oh, Elle says, ugh, my dad is a Cancer. I get it. Look, okay, not the people coming out triggered. People coming out triggered. All right. If you're part of the replay crew, be sure to let us know your thoughts on Real Housewives of New York City and Salt Lake City and how you would rate these episodes and your thoughts on some of the things that I've said and what the callers would say and what people are saying in the live chat. Yes, Behind the Shade says, who's a Cancer? Todd. The Todd father apparently is a Cancer. Okay. Do we know what Bronwyn is? Oh, she's a Virgo, right? She's a Virgo. Oh, I can see that working. That works. Virgos and Mary says Bronwyn's definitely a Virgo. I can see that. I can definitely see that. All right, so the groups are getting ready to leave, all right? Todd says he's never doing this again. Lisa finds out that she's flying coach and she has a hissy fit. And I know some people are like, oh, this is perfect. Like, this is what we want from our housewives that are just insane. We want her to have a hissy fit. No, we don't. There's one flight. There wasn't enough for I don't understand why they didn't just fly private back. Maybe just scheduling of the private plane just wasn't working out. So Lisa has a hissy fit about taking coach. Mind you, her minor son is waiting for them to come back home. He's fine, but he's waiting for him to come back home. She's like, can you check out and see if there's any other flight? Is it first class? First class is sold out. This flight, y'all, at first she said was 65 minutes. However, it really is 47 minutes. Okay, I've been on a flight that short. Literally, before you even get comfortable, you're landing. Lisa, stop. And mind you, it's a small plane. So technically, even in 17C, you're fine. It's like you're in first class. She's like having a hissy fit. Mind you, there are people with bigger net worths with you. Yes, they're flying in first class. But even the first class on a plane like that is not that great either. I've been on first class for these domestic flights. They're bootleg, and they charge you a lot of money for these bootleg flight seats. Delta. Delta. It's a little bit more spacious, and they make sure you get a drink. First class is wasted on me. I don't even drink. They're like, would you like a beverage? Water? Oh. That's it. Yes, I want water. I don't want no damn liquor, wine. People drinking wine at crack of dawn. Not judging. Okay. Theo says, it was only a 47-minute flight. She couldn't do it. She said, God forbid anyone sees Lisa Barlow in coach. She says, like, I don't buy coach and I don't fly coach. I'm like, all right, girl. Fine. And so she's having a hissy fit. I think you could tell that John was frustrated with her because he's like, it's not that long. He's like, it's not that serious. It's not that long. She's like, maybe we can fly to LA. Girl, get on the 47-minute flight and get home to your son. Okay, you're not. What did Angie say about you as a parent? Look, just saying. What are you teaching your children? There's nothing wrong with flying coach. I get it. The way that airplanes are nowadays, it's not comfortable, especially if you're flying on a long flight. I'm not looking forward to my 6-hour flight to LA. Okay? And no, I'm not flying first class. Whoa, Kempire, whoa. No, really, whoa for me. No, I'm not flying first class. It just wasn't worth it. The amount of money they want to charge you for first, I'm just like, whatever. I'll just deal with the like this for 6 hours. I'm gonna go to sleep. Just saying. But I'm not throwing a hissy fit for a 47-minute flight. Again, I probably would have understood if it was like a 6-hour flight. Yeah, that's not comfortable for 6 hours. Okay. But for 47 minutes, you can be strong. You can be strong. Chelsea says tragic. Which is this dang Kempire. Mary says, let's bring the tiny violin. All right. Anyways. Winter says, how much is the first class seat? I don't even know. I don't even know at this point. I don't know. I just knew it was too much. Okay? I just knew it was too much. I was like, it's just not worth it. Anyways. But my flight is a lot longer. Okay? My flight's a lot longer. Okay, here, Tyler says, eye mask, neck pillow, headphones, and an edible. Really? Are you guys really like traveling high? Okay. Exactly. Danny says it's all about the optics for Lisa. At the end of the day, for a 47-minute flight, no one cares. And look, I will say this. Some of y'all have shamed celebrities. She's not a celebrity. Some of y'all have shamed celebrities like, oh my God, I saw this person in Coach. Well, look, if they're trying to get somewhere and first class is not available, or maybe they're budget conscious, okay. I know, look, Brian says, Kempire, it's a tax deduction for your business. I mean, yes, it is. This is for work. I'm flying there, but I'm still not going to pay. I don't remember how much it was, guys, but it was a huge difference between like Comfort Plus. You know, they have all these different stuff. He said, but 47 minutes from Palm Springs to Salt Lake City in Coach, it's not slumming it. I could write it off, but I don't want to. Delta says, on Delta, you can pay for extra room. I flew to and from Florida twice this year from Los Angeles. It wasn't too bad. I am going to get extra room, but it's not first class. It's not first class. I sound like Lisa right now, but it's not first class. But my flight is 6 hours. 6 hours, and I'm flying into a new time zone. And I'm not complaining. I'm turning into Todd, crotchety and old with my arms folded, but rich. Todd's not flying no damn Coach. Anyways, I mean, they don't even call it Coach anymore. They have so many tiers. There's basic economy, premium economy. Ridiculous. What am I talking about right now? That's all right. Whoa. Lisa Barlow. All right, let me drop the call link because you guys, we hit over 400 likes. Can we get to 500 likes, guys? I'm going to drop the call link for the general audience too. All right. Wait. Do I have any people backstage? I got a full list of people. Okay, we got our members backstage. Hey, members, become a member today at teamkempire.com/join. I feel like I want to slur my words, not because I'm Meredith Marks, just because I'm thinking of Meredith. It's because my mouth is dry. The only thing I'm high on is life, okay? Anyways, moving on. The Midseason trailer. The Midseason trailer, I will always give to Salt Lake City. They always make great trailers. They do a great job editing. Based on what we're seeing, somebody was recording somebody. Brittany is still a part of this cast. Why was Brittany not made full-time? And I don't care what anyone says, she should have been. I don't love Brittany. First of all, someone tagged me on TikTok of Brittany sing. Brittany has a beautiful voice. She really does. Like, she should be, like, famous for her voice. She has a great voice. Anyways. Brittany's in the Midseason trailer. Where's Miley? Non-mother factor. She should have had a snowflake. She has more of a storyline and more activity this season than Heather Gay, Meredith Marks, Whitney. Whitney's still talking about the Alibaba situation. We don't care. And I'm so Brown was like, I will take the blame for Alibaba. I'm going to start a Twitter right now and take the blame for this. Please do, because I want it to be over with. I don't care. Because I still don't believe that Lisa had anything to do with it. I don't know. Just intuitively, I don't think that Lisa had anything to do with it. Moving on. So the Midseason trailer looks good. It looks like we're going to see more into Bronwyn and Todd's relationship. He has a little crotchety moment. He's like, let's leave. Okay. We see Mary has that heartfelt conversation with Robert Jr. where she ends up crying. He ends up crying. And then we see someone recorded Meredith. I think the only reason why they keep bringing back Meredith is because she has these like viral moments when she loses it. But I don't care. Meredith has nothing else going on. She hasn't had anything going on since season 1. And I think she's not giving us her true story. I don't expect Housewives to give us their complete story, but I'm tired. Well, we're going to get a scene this season of her at her bat mitzvah. Really? And her issues with Seth, even though we found out, everything's good now. Okay. All right, I'm done talking. It's almost 7:00 here in New York City. I need to go have dinner. I shouldn't even drop the call-in link. All right, callers, make it quick. No blame. Thanks for tuning in to Kempire here on the Kempire Radio Podcast. As always, don't forget to give us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. And for everything Kempire Radio, head on over to KempireRadio.com.